I have something interesting to talk about in regards to the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are one of the hardest watches around the NBA. You have bad teams out there. Detroit Pistons, Raptors are not really nice to watch. Um, you got some real eyesores out there, but none more than the Milwaukee Bucks. And a lot of people will hear this and be like, well, why? Why do you say that? They got Dame, they got Giannis, they got a pretty good supporting cast. I will tell you why. The Milwaukee Bucks are a hard watch and a hard follow because of what they've become. I think Milwaukee over the years they've turned themselves into a very respectful franchise, right? Won an NBA title a few years back. They are the home and the hub of the two-time MVP and Giannis Antetokounmpo. The fan base is really, really passionate and great. They're constantly in title contention, which is good. So all of these things are positive things. The problem that I'm seeing with this team is Giannis. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? Giannis is the problem. Here's why. Success sometimes allows for bad decisions. Listen to that again. Success sometimes opens the door for bad decisions. So, for example, your business is doing really, really well, and you've been doing certain things a certain way. You will have the confidence to be able to maybe do something uncharacteristically because everything that you've done is successful. But sometimes that particular type of hubris doesn't carry over, and you can actually cause more damage to whatever you've built because of that stubborn hubris that you have. That's where Milwaukee is right now. And it's all because of Giannis. Win the championship, having a guy win these back-to-back MVPs, having the success that he's had here allowed him to be able to say things in the media to try to sway certain things to happen. Oh, if things don't work out and we don't get more competitive and do this and get this guy, then, maybe I got to leave. Okay, what did they do? Packed up all their stuff, packed up their best perimeter defender, and they went to go get you Dame Lillard. When you wanted your brother to have an NBA job, they looked at your brother and said, but he's not good enough. Yeah, doesn't matter. He needs to be here. Okay, so we'll give him a roster spot. Some other hardworking kid can't get a spot on a championship level team because there's nepotism that Milwaukee has granted Giannis. Adrian Griffin got hired, doing a very good job, and for some reason, there was a disconnect. But do you honestly believe that if Giannis wanted to keep Adrian Griffin, he wouldn't be there? And what do you think happened? Yeah, let's go get Doc. I like Doc. Like what Doc's done. Then deal. Get him in there. So let's go through the timeline. Your brother's on the team. Dame's here because of you. Doc is here because of you. We see the team struggling. They can't stop a nosebleed. Dame Lillard is one of the worst defenders in basketball. They've lost their defensive edge. What made them special to be able to protect the rim and get out on the break and do special things. They don't have that anymore. They have still the ability to block shots. But when you got a point guard that can't stay in front of molasses because he's never had to, then it puts more strain on the back end of your defense. So instead of being able to direct the guy somewhere, impromptu happens. He's just ole and letting the guy go wherever he wants. So it puts the back line of your defense out of rhythm. You're out of position. So you tend to have to slide over late, get foul calls. Things are not healthy in Milwaukee. And as much as I would like to clown Doc Rivers, because he is a very below average coach and a below average motivator, and he's always been that. That's low-hanging fruit. As much as I would love to be able to tell you that Dame's shortcomings is the reason why this team is not as good as they are. Low-hanging fruit. But me telling you that Giannis is the problem, oh, that's a big can of worms. It's a lot of fluff or something there that people don't want to talk about. At some point, Milwaukee needs to get their franchise back. Not saying that Giannis shouldn't be a part of it. He could be a part of it. But he shouldn't run it. People like to talk about the GM. LeBron's the GM. Who's a bigger GM than Giannis? Who's a bigger power broker than Giannis in Milwaukee? Very similar, if not worse here. So that's what I see. And my eyes don't lie. Moving on.